which, as you know, is a Pfizer solution, just pulled the wraps off this at the big 2025 National Restaurant Association show. That was in Chicago.
Got it. So our mission here is to really understand what this means. Clover's got this massive user base already, known for efficiency, but now they're specifically going after the really high-end places.
That's the core of it. They're targeting upscale dining establishments, the most demanding segment, really.
Interesting. So we need to unpack how this whole Omni-Commerce thing fits in. And I hear there's a pretty novel payment idea in the mix, too. Something that could really change things for high-end service.
Absolutely. It signals Clover is looking beyond just, counting transactions. They want the complexity, the prestige, frankly, the higher check averages of that premium market.
So it's an investment in getting that complete picture, that holistic data.
Exactly. And honestly, it shifts the competitive dynamics almost immediately.
Okay, let's get into that. Clover already powers, more than 125,000 restaurants? That scale is just huge.
It is. But when you think about, fine dining, Michelin stars, that kind of level.
Yeah, you usually think of different systems, right? More specialized, maybe focused on that bespoke service feel. Clover's terminals haven't always screamed subtle elegance.
And that's the challenge they're tackling head on. Historically, these high-end places often had to choose. Do you want the sleek look, or do you want the powerful back-end functionality? It was hard to get both.
So this launch is about bridging that gap.
Right. They're positioning this as a major leap into that upscale hospitality sector, aiming to combine it all. The hardware, the software, and the payment solutions, all tightly knit together.
Okay, critical question then. If aesthetics are paramount in these venues, have they actually addressed the hardware? Because let's be honest, a big plastic POS on a beautiful maitre stand is jarring.
Yeah, that's a fair point. What we're hearing suggests the system is built with versatility in mind. It implies either an evolution in their hardware design or at least a much better ability to integrate into the restaurant's existing design language.
Making it less obtrusive.
Exactly. The strategic angle here is realizing that the pain point for high-end isn't just slow transactions, it's any friction, any tech element that disrupts that carefully crafted guest experience.
So Clover's saying their tech is designed specifically around those operational and experiential hurdles these top-tier restaurateurs face.
That's the claim. Better operational efficiency naturally, but also enhancing, or at least not detracting from, the overall ambiance and service flow.
Okay, sounds promising. But let's dig into the operational efficiency part. Because in upscale dining, time really is money, isn't it? It's not just about server tips. Turning tables efficiently in prime locations is critical for the bottom line.
Absolutely.
So how does this integrated system really improve daily operations beyond just, say, making checkout a bit faster?
Well, I think the real power, the sort of magic, if you will, comes from the data integrity you get when front of house and back of house functions are truly integrated.
Not just passing orders back and forth.
No, much more than that. It's about unified reporting in real time. Imagine. The system instantly links menu item sales directly to inventory levels, labor schedules, even the status of each table.
Ah, so the manager gets this immediate snapshot. They can see bottlenecks as they happen.
Precisely. So many current setups are kind of bolted together, right? Data has to pass between different systems, different silos.
Yeah, often with delays or manual steps.
Right. So if Clover Hospitality is genuinely one system, management can react instantly. Maybe reassign staff if there's an unexpected dinner rush, or adjust ingredient orders mid-service based on actual sales, not just guesses.
That makes sense. So the stated goals are about speed, but the underlying value is smarter management.
Exactly. The official objectives are focused on streamlining things to, yes, expedite service and table turnover. But beneath that, it's about optimizing labor, reducing waste, really hitting those core profitability levers.
I think we have a quote on this, don't we? From Fiserv Senior VP Crystal Mobiani. She seemed to really get this operational pain.
We do. She emphasized that the right tech should let restaurants essentially absorb those daily curveballs, take them in stride.
And did she mention specific measurable targets for this system?
She did, actually. Very specific. Things like reducing check wait times, which we'll come back to, optimizing staff schedules for better labor optimization, and just generally improving the flow to maximize table turns.
It's that promise of an all-in-one solution for a seamless, elevated experience.
Right. But achieving that seamlessness means the tech needs to be almost invisible, fast, reliable, and critically, feeding predictive insights back to the management.
Okay, let's pivot to the BentoBox part of this, because that seems absolutely crucial to making this more than just a POS system. Pfizer bought BentoBox back in 2021.
They did. And that acquisition wasn't just, adding another tool to the belt. It was fundamentally transformative for what Clover could offer, especially to this upscale market.
How so? What does BentoBox bring?
It brings the Omni-Commerce capabilities that are now deeply integrated into Clover Hospitality. And when we say Omni-Commerce here, what we mean is enabling restaurants to really expand their online presence and, importantly, diversify their revenue streams.
So think beyond just people sitting in the dining room.
Exactly. It ensures that the digital touchpoints, making a reservation online, placing a large catering order, receiving email marketing, are all managed potentially within the same ecosystem that handles the meal and the payment inside the restaurant.
Okay, so it connects the dots. It's not just the floor manager's tool anymore. It becomes a strategic dashboard for the marketing team, for the GM.
You've got it. It ensures brand consistency across channels, and maybe most importantly, it creates potentially a single source of truth about each customer.
That's interesting. Explain that.
Well, think about it. If a customer is a known high spender when they dine in, that's data from the Clover side, and they also frequently order catering online, that's data from the BentoBox side, the restaurant now sees that complete picture, that unified profile.
It sells pieces of information living in separate databases that don't talk to each other.
Precisely. So BentoBox brings those specific tools, things like sophisticated professional websites tailored for restaurants, integrated online ordering systems, advanced reservation tools, and a whole suite of marketing resources.
Which means the restaurant can track that whole customer journey internally. If they're currently using, say, a third-party reservation platform or a generic website builder.
We're losing valuable data at each step, or at least the data isn't connected. Clover's offering this integrated ecosystem, this sort of walled garden where the restaurant potentially owns and connects all that customer interaction data.
And that's the big carrot for a high-end restaurant group, isn't it? They can standardize this powerful, data-rich system across all their maybe unique upscale locations.
Yes, the potential scope is huge. It caters to everyone from, say, a single local fine dining spot right up to multinational hospitality brands. But this does raise an interesting strategic challenge for Clover.
Oh, what's that?
Well, they're betting heavily on the power of this proprietary integration, right?
Yeah.
But you have major established players, especially in reservations for high-end, think Resi, think Tech Talk. They dominate that space.
True, they're very strong.
So what happens if those platforms decide to really open up their APIs? If they start sharing the same rich customer data freely with any competing POS system?
Then Clover's advantage, that unified data picture within their own system, starts to look less unique.
It could erode that competitive moat, yeah. Clover has to hope that the sheer convenience and purported seamlessness of their all-in-one offering outweighs the perhaps specialized features or existing relationships restaurants have with those best-of-breed reservation systems.
That's a really sharp point. It's a classic battle. Integrated suite versus best-of-breed components. Okay, but let's move on to the feature that seems to be grabbing the most headlines. Checkless payments.
Right.
This idea of paying without the whole ritual of the bill being presented, that feels significant.
It's potentially a massive behavioral shift, isn't it? Especially in upscale dining where that check ceremony is kind of ingrained.
Yeah.
It signals the end of the meal.
So to develop something this potentially disruptive, they needed a serious partner, someone with credibility in that exact space.
Absolutely. And they got a big one. Union Square Hospitality Group, Danny Meyer's group, USHG.
Okay, partnering with USHG immediately gives this concept weight and legitimacy in the high-end world. This wasn't just cooked up in a Fiserv lab somewhere.
No, definitely not. And it involved collaboration at the very top levels.
Who are the key figures driving it?
From the Pfizer side, you had their former chairman, CEO, and president, Frank Bisignano, and from USHG, their executive chairman and founder, Danny Meyer himself.
Wow. Okay, so when you have leaders like that, known for both financial innovation and redefining customer experience, you know they're aiming for something truly transformative.
That's the implication, yes.
So, checkless payments. How does it actually work on the ground? Does the waiter just, announce the total? How do you pay without that physical bill?
It ties back into that unified system we were talking about at Manhattan, which is the USHG restaurant where they're currently testing this.
Right, the trial location.
The payment process is often linked to the guest's reservation or some form of identification within the system. So instead of flagging down the server for the bill, waiting for it, then waiting for the card to be run.
Yeah, that whole back and forth.
Right. The server might just confirm the final total with you, including any comps or discounts already applied by the system, and then the guest can authorize payment right from their own device.
Oh, through an app.
Usually via something like a QR code displayed discreetly on the table, or perhaps a link sent via text message, which connects to the party's tab in the system.
Okay, I can see how that dramatically reduces check wait times. That bottleneck at the end of the meal just dissolves.
Potentially, yes. No more server juggling, credit card machines, and check presenters.
But what about the feel of it? The cultural side. You mentioned the check ceremony. It's a social cue, right? It signals things are wrapping up. Isn't there a risk that removing it for pure efficiency creates a new kind of awkwardness?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's a huge consideration. The host or maitre d's now has a different challenge in managing guest expectations around lingering. If payment happens instantly and frictionlessly, does that subtly increase the pressure for the table to turn over?
Could make people feel rushed, even if that's not the intention.
Exactly. So servers will need new training, not just on the tech itself, but on the soft skills of managing guest flow gracefully in this potentially faster environment. The goal is seamless, yes, but the risk is making the experience feel abrupt or transactional.
And what about the really practical stuff like splitting the bill? That's often the most time-consuming part of the traditional process.
That functionality has to be built into the guest-facing interface, whether it's an app or a web link. Ideally, you'd see the bill on your phone, be able to easily split specific items or amounts with others at the table, assuming they're linked to the same check,
Ah,
and then finalize just your portion instantly. It avoids all that awkward table math and passing cards around.
minimizes the friction there too. And we know this is live, being tested right now at USHG's Manhattan.
Correct. And the plan is, if it proves successful there, it'll roll out to other USHG locations using the full Clover Hospitality system.
Serving is the critical proof of concept for the wider market.
Exactly. It's a test bed for what could become a standard way to pay in any busy, service-focused environment. They're essentially betting that the appeal of data-driven efficiency, plus growing consumer comfort with things like QR code payments, will eventually outweigh the inertia of tradition.
Okay, so bringing it all together, what's the big picture here for you, the learner, trying to understand this shift?
Well, I think the overarching strategic goal for Clover Hospitality is pretty clear. They want to be the essential technology suite, the platform that provides total connectivity, consistency across operations, and crucially, that unified stream of data covering everything a restaurant does, both physically and digitally.
It's about removing all those classic points of friction.
Right, from the moment someone thinks about booking, right through to paying the check, potentially without even seeing one. It's all geared towards enabling a genuinely elevated guest experience, but one that's fundamentally underpinned by data. They aren't just selling a POS anymore. They're selling a strategic platform for growth and optimization, specifically tailored for that demanding high-end market.
That clarity of data, connecting all those dots, it's incredibly powerful. Which leads me to the final provocative thought for you to consider as we wrap up. If Clover does succeed in unifying this transactional data from the POS side, with all the behavioral data from the BentoBox site, reservations, loyalty programs, marketing interactions, all into one customer profile.
Yeah.
How long before sophisticated AI models get applied to that consolidated data set? Think about it. Could this unified system start predicting not just when a customer might visit next, but maybe what they're likely to order, how much they'll probably spend, and maybe even pinpointing the absolute optimal moment to present that checkless payment link via QR code or text to maximize both table turnover and potentially even influence tip averages based on past behavior?
Wow. The automation of customer flow management driven by predictive analytics?
That feels like the immediate next frontier, doesn't it? Something restaurateurs adopting these powerful new tools need to start exploring right now.